Steel Horse here. Welcome back to Silverrun Forest Farm. Jake is up and at 'em early this morning. This is the barley field that we harvested last time, and just keen to finish getting the straw off the field. Kind of a priority while the weather's good, but it's also giving him time to think. He's still pondering that that choice that he was left with at the end of the last episode. Specifically, we've filled up the silo with barley. There's 36,000 litres in the little silo that we've got up at the farm, but he's got 2 full trailers and still a little left in the harvester, which is all up probably another 37,000 litres. So the question he's pondering is, does he put another silo in? He certainly doesn't want to sell before price improves. It's a pretty shocking price at the moment, down, which is not unusual for harvest season, so down near the bottom of the market. But the same is true also for the straw, because well, there's one full trailer over there. We've already got plenty of straw back at the farm from last season that we took off the oats that we harvested here. So that'll keep the horses and the cows going in terms of bedding and feed. So the question is really what to do. The way he's leaning at the moment is with the big shed in, he's got a nice secure place. He can leave the crop, although it's not ideal, he can leave it in the trailers at least for another month or two. There's no call on those trailers, or the harvester for that matter. And that means that he doesn't really, well, it's not as pressing to make the decision. What he's kind of leaning towards, and he went down and grabbed another container, wood container, following the harvest, and he's kind of been, as he's driving up and down, looking at this area here and along the railroad tracks, and pretty much concluding that there's easily a container of wood in there, and he wants to make this field larger. And so the rationale he's got going is, well, a container of wood's going to generate pretty close to 50,000, and 50,000 on top of what's already in the bank is pretty close to what's required for that field down near Eddy's. And of course, once he's got that field, that needs to be cleared, and there's several containers worth of wood probably on that one. So he's kind of thinking that the smartest order of play here would be to concentrate on getting the field or the farm area to make the field, because from then on out, everything he sells can go into building the infrastructure on the farm, because that'll be enough land to be working for at least the next year. And it'll take a while to get it cleared and set up, similarly with this one here. So that's kind of the way he's leaning towards it. So today we'll certainly finish getting the bales picked up here. We'll run those across, and that looks pretty close to it there actually. There's another, what is that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's another trailer and a bit's worth right here. So if we go and stack those at least over at the riding school, we won't worry about the last dregs here. That will get the straw off the field so it's ready to be mulched when we need to. And he's got the plough there so we can cut out the expansion that he's talking about. So we just need to get some trees out of the way, and this field will then be on the way to being in the shape that's required for the next season. Now what we might do is run back to the riding school with these 2 bales in, just to try and reduce the likelihood. We'll still need the extra trailer, but at least it's going there somewhat full. So that's kind of the order of play. There's nothing else to sell, but there are things that'll be able to be sold in the next few months. So financially things are in good shape. This grass is coming along nicely here. That'll be ready to go again next month. Let's see if we can drop this just up here. Can we drop the bales out? Hold you up, tip you off. There you go. We can put the baler back in the shed. Paige is not uncomfortable with the idea of a bigger silo by any stretch. Her tuppence worth for the conversation was, well, Jake, you need to do what you think we need. But ideally, you know, let's be buying the right one. And the key question is, where do we put it? We might just want to give a little bit more thought, if you've got the idea of getting some more land, in terms of the long-term layout of the farm. And Jake was the first to admit that it was kind of expanding a bit willy-nilly ad hoc at the moment. He didn't have a big plan. It's kind of, that was the rationale. Well, let's spend some more time thinking about that while we before we go placing a silo complex. So that also, of course, creates the opportunity to get the finances a little bit better in order, which never hurts. Corn looks like it's coming up nicely there. So let's just take this back across. We can pick those bales up and get to getting a little bit of a cleared area under control. We don't necessarily want to take all the trees out. It's just about getting a good increase in the working size of that field. That's the plan at this stage. This little Allis is working out a treat, doing exactly what's required. So if we just back this up onto the hard stand there, not too much in the way of anything. Just put it on the edge. And hopefully that'll just sit up there nicely without creating too much mess. There we go. Let's go back and get the next load. We might just have lucked in here. There's 7 to go, not quite. We're going to leave 1 on the field by the looks, which we will pick up in due course. More to go, and then we'll run these across. We had a spike on the front. Could have picked up the last one. Didn't think of that. Never mind. Let's just see if we can tuck these up alongside on the hard stand. That might do right about there, I reckon. Main reason for dropping them off the trailer is it's likely that we're going to need to sell before we can sorry, it's not likely that we're going to sell before we need to use the trailer again. So if we have a look, you can see we've got plenty of straw now, but it's only sitting at $61 rather than 89. And if we have a look at the profile, it really is at the bottom of the market down here. So it'll be December before we get rid of the straw. That will do us for that. Let's run over and have a look at the tree situation. What is discovered is we need to be leaving a line that's kind of along the edge. Probably something like this can stay. Something like this needs to go. And the technique that he's been working up is to take out, to cut down the trees first, pull them out of the way so he's got access to the land, and then process them with the tractor mounted head that he's got. So it just seems to be a little bit easier. It also means pretty quickly you can see where the land is that you're trying to develop. So we'll just work around the perimeter. We're going to replant a row kind of along in that line. These little trees here don't provide any wood, but circling them with the blade on its side seems to reliably get rid of them. These bushes here we'll deal with when we plough. We might leave that one there. Get rid of these two. So as you can see, there's basically the rule of thumb he's developed is these fully grown ones at about 36 meters pretty much fill a container with 5 of them, sometimes 4, depending on where the cuts. That one just doesn't want to go for us. Don't know why. Wants to cut pretty high, actually. So we've already cut the best part of a container load's worth of timber by the look of it. Where's this misbehaving? I believe might take that one. There are also a couple of rocks that we want to take off along there. We might take this guy but leave the big one behind it. Will of course be a few stumps. There we go. Is that one? Hopefully is a shrub. We'll find out shortly. Won't get up too close to the bridge. That will be a bit awkward for equipment. What's this? Let's try and get them all to fall towards the field, ideally. So there'll be a little bit of work for stump removal. We can go and get the skid steer to take care of that. These ones. Having trouble selecting the pines. Lodgepole pines for some reason. Come back to him. Regular pines don't seem to be any trouble though. That's just about got them all, I think. There'll be a few little stragglers that we missed on the way around that we want to take care of. This will be enough to clear out the way so we can see the land that we're working with. We'll leave the little grove of trees around the house over here. We'll sort of take the edge from where the tractor is there down to, we'll leave that one I think there somewhere around about here and then run straight across. So let's jump in the tractor and pull a few of these or push them out of the way. Let's see how we go. Their blade here. Just the stumps making it a bit awkward. If we can get them up onto the field, you know, some sort of a neat pile, it makes it a bit easier to process. What else have we got over here? Let's see. So left shift gives us the winch. B to stick it on. We get another one on there. No, not quite. Why do I unplug it? Let's pull another one round the stump. Winch it in. What have we got over here? One there. Not quite. Oh, almost. There's a couple there. They're pretty close together, so let's see how we go processing those. Extend down. Which way? Open you out. Turn the head. There we go. And rotate. Whoops. Point you around that way. Down. Length 6 meters. And there we go. Turn you on and cut. A moderately neat pile. Just that one little oak tree in the way. Which way do we want to rotate that? Head that way. Get that out of the way. It doesn't like the oak trees. Turn the head. And lift you up. Managed to get it all on the other side of the oak tree. Just get the way there. I'm not sure if we can pick up that last one. Still not far enough out, eh? Yep. Too far away by the looks. Just can't quite hook it. Hold you up. Bring you back in. Let's move you over a little bit further. The one downside of this piece of equipment is just a little bit more time and effort to relocate is all. Turn you up, turn you on. And rotate you, no, that way, and don't want you shut, and we want you the other way. Fat end to the fat end. Oh goodness me. Get this oak tree out of the way. It's a pagoda dogwood. I'll tell a lie, it's not an oak tree. Nonetheless, it is still an annoying little tree. With twigs everywhere. Good news is if we cut the pieces small enough, they disappear. There we go. Having repositioned slightly, we just unfold again. Turn you on. Rotate the head. Back in a little bit. That should get us sorted. And we'll just keep working our way through here. This will keep Jake busy for a little while, I think. Until we get enough of a clear area to be able to mark out where we want the edge of the field. We might also go and grab the stump grinder, because that will clearly be required. Once we get these out of the way. So Jake remembered while he was back up at the farm that he's got a milk delivery to do today also, so mustn't forget that. But for now, let's see if we can take care of a few of these stumps to make working in this area a little bit easier. Let's see here. Pretty straightforward. There we go. That one. We probably won't get them all out on this pass, but we'll get a number. Which will just make it a little easier to see what we're doing. Just to munch up these pagoda dogwoods. Little snippets of logs there. And yes, we could chip those for firewood, but given the amount of timber we've got here, it doesn't seem worth the time and effort to mess with the harder to handle logs. There's a few trees in this pile, so I'll have to come back and work around that one. It was causing us some grief before. Large tree chunk, a tree stump hiding there, isn't there? Just change our view angle just a whisker there and roll you across, hopefully sorting everything out in the process. So let's try not to get cleaned up by a train. This will sort of give us an idea where our edge is along here. Go over and load a few from over this side into the container. And then head up and do our milk delivery. We're pretty close to full. No, we are full. So I suspect that is our load. Let's just pop this guy down for the minute. 21,700, that is indeed the load. So let's shut the doors there. We can get you out the way. So what we might see if we can do is grab a driver from the riding school to run this up to the container sell point, and we'll go and take care of our milk delivery, hopefully. Let's just fill up with some milk here. Fill point might work a little bit better. There we go, 3,000 litres of milk, so that's worth delivering. So we'll run in there while the container is being delivered. And with any luck, we'll be done, I'm guessing, without looking. We should actually check where is milk required. Milk. There it is. Milk's required at Sunnyside Cafe again. So that will be the location. Sunnyside Cafe is just up here on the left-hand side. We've delivered there a couple of times before. Just a little tricky to get into. But we've got plenty of manoeuvrability with this combination. It's only the curb that slows us down. So now that the milk's delivered, let's go and see if we can find out where our container is. 4,400 for the milk and another 10%. So our truck hadn't got far at all. It managed to get seriously tangled up at the level crossing, which is just annoying. So we'll run it up ourselves. As we pull into Thumpy's container terminal. Train in sight. Now I'm sure his boys will just whip the container off. They usually do. There it goes. 49,000. So that takes us up to 126. So I'm thinking that that will give us enough for this block of land. So let's head down there and see how we go. Jeez. Coming out of the sawmill in a bit of a hurry. Maybe rob the place. Not that there's anything to see specifically by popping down here, but this is the entrance into the block. And so if we go to our map here, farmland, this is field 36, we're right about here. And you can see it includes the portion between Eddy's and the farmer's market, and also that little sort of funny bit between the railway line, the triangle on the other side. So pretty interesting little block for 115,000. So we'll buy that one. And our land holdings are coming along quite nicely. Terrain in the middle here is not necessarily going to be helpful for farming, but we'll get a nice field in this area here, I think. So that's a pretty good day's work as far as Jake's concerned. We've got a good area of land to keep working on, nice proximity to town, and a couple of interesting blocks over here for any good ideas that Jake might have. So this is actually a pretty good place to leave things. So thanks very much for watching. Stay safe. Happy New Year. See you next time. See ya.